At this point, the installers then put on the eave drip, using the pancake screws to keep it fastened down to the roof sheathing. Now, the extended eave drip provides a protective covering for the fascia boards and the edges of the roof decking at the drip eave of the building. Unlike conventional exposed fastener roofing, eave drip on the standing seam roof acts as an anchoring device for the lower edge of the panels, allowing a continuation of the hidden fastener system all the way down to the soffit. The next part of the process was cutting the steel panels down to size. In this case, we were taking 20-foot panels and making two 10-foot panels out of them. Once the panels were cut, we did inventory to make sure we had all the necessary UL90 clips as well as pancake screws for keeping them firmly attached. The next part of the installation process was really the part I'd been waiting all this time for, seeing the metal actually get attached to the roof. And now that I've seen it done, I'm a little embarrassed that I didn't give it a try myself. But having seen the project finished now and knowing the time and effort that went into it, I'm really happy that we decided to go with a professional installer. They did a top-rate job. So essentially, what needed to happen was to take those cut-down panels and start from the rear of the house moving towards the tongue of the trailer, putting down a panel, making sure that it stays in place using the lifetime screws, which are essentially heavy-duty coated screws, self-tappers even, attaching the panel down, and then using the seamless locking system, the UL90 clips attached by pancake screws, to make sure that the seam is in place and that one panel is connected to the other. It really is pretty simple, but as I said earlier, it was a skill that I wasn't really comfortable with. So all in all, I'm glad we did hire the professionals to do the job, and seeing the finished product, I'm really, really pleased with this standing seam metal roof. To finish up, the fellas installed the ridge cap. Now the ridge cap is used to seal the upper point at which the two slopes meet. Now this can be along the ridge of the roof as well as the covering for a hip, as well as on the ridge of dormers. Now attachment to the roof is most generally accomplished through the use of Zee Flashing. And now the Zee Flashing we used is cut to length so that it fits between the panel ribs and attached with screws to the roof through the panels. Once the ridge cap had been fastened down, and the gable trim had been added on, we got a really polished, beautiful, finished look, and one that we're extremely proud of and very thankful to Gulf Coast Supply and Manufacturing for the provision of this metal roof.